Okay, here we go again. I hope you can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you check Marcel back in the back? Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to make sure that people can hear me again. Well, at least it's cut off for the start of Earth, and so now we're going to move into Earth again. I hope people can come on and find me. Somebody's on. Thank you. Oh, it's an ad. Okay, we're just making sure that we can hear me. Oh. This is part 3. So look for part 3. Oh, I found it. Let's see. Oh, I found it. Okay, it's going. Okay. Yay. Okay, you can hear me. All right. We are now in our last hour, so for the last 40 minutes. Okay. And we are going to be we're focusing on Earth for this last hour. So we're going to get right into it with our legs. So just like we did before, we want our stack. So we're going to have our right leg extended, and we're going to curl our left foot in. And we're going to bring the bolster in. We can either stack it against the foot and rest here, or we can bring it on the inside of the leg. We can bring it on top of the leg. We could get a combination of things so we can work into this hamstring here. Some of you might be able to put the bolster on the outside of the foot and settle here like this. So for this one, we are looking to the back of that right leg. You might even put a little towel or a little rolled up blanket under the knee to keep the knee from hyperextending. And just relaxing over the leg. So we're not pulling, we're not flexing, we're just letting gravity sag us into that leg. And just breathe down into the thigh, into the leg. You might feel a little stretch coming across the side body here. Just notice that as well. Find your breath in the shape. And sink into the points of gravity. Enjoying the opportunity to open up these hamstrings here. To massage the muscle fibers with your breath. Symbolically, Earth is our physical body. It's also our sense of security and stability. It's the materiality of our existence. And as we come into the last minute of the pose, just see if there's a space to move into. See if there's an invitation by gravity in your muscles to sink in a little bit deeper. Last round of breath here. And let's draw the navel in. Let's start to walk the hands in. As we come on up, we'll just do a little twist over that bent knee. And we'll switch sides. So again, totally different pose. You may have been down a certain level on the right side, and the left side's not going to be the same. That's beautiful and wonderful. And just take note of it. Explore it. Again, we can be here with the bolster. We'll be here with the bolster. We can be outside the foot with the bolster, resting the hands and resting the forehead on the knee or past the knee, upper shin. But let's make sure we're kind of squared up over the leg. Okay, so we're not coming down over the foot. We're coming down over this left leg here. Again, we're not pulling ourselves into this pose. We are lowering ourselves into this pose. We're seeing how much we can release into gravity. Breathe softness into the entire shape. Last minute in the pose, look for that invitation to move a little deeper into the pose if it's there. If not, it's fine too. Just explore. Explore the entirety of this shape. Savor each little sensation. Savor each heaviness into the ground. Savor the stretch. Savor your breath moving. Last round of breath here. Sigh it all out. Let's walk the hands back. Draw the navel in. Once we get up, we'll twist over the bent knee. And back to center. Let's extend both legs out. Give them a little shake. Okay, we're going to roll on back down to the ground. Yeah. Let's see for this first part. Yeah. Let's make sure our bolster's handy. We're not going to use it right now, but just make sure it's nearby. And gather the knees into the chest. Sway the head from side to side. Let's bring the feet to the sky. We're going to cross the right leg over the left. Total, complete cross. Okay, and then we're going to bend both knees. So the knees are nice and close together. Okay. We're going to take hold of either knee and we're going to separate them. So the right hand is pulling the left knee over to the right, and the left hand is pulling the right knee over to the left. Okay, so as you do that, let's keep the sacrum down on the ground, but as you do that, start to feel it deep into the hip, into the glute. It's a slightly different sensation than our pigeon pose, okay, or our sleeping swan pose. Okay. Let's make sure that the hips are nice and square, because sometimes one of the hips likes to cant up. So let's make sure they're nice and settled. And then let's bring these knees in toward the chest. Okay, target that space. Let's make sure we're still feeling it. And then we're going to slide our hands down toward our ankles. If it feels good, if it feels comfortable. If not, stay up here. And slide our hands down the outer blades of the feet, and we're drawing the heels toward the opposite hip. But we want to keep the knees stacked. And breathing. Make sure the chin is nice and tucked. Make sure the breath pushes into particularly which side's closest? Both sides. But particularly the left thigh. The right thigh's on top. Push your breath into that thigh. Enjoy the squishiness. If you're feeling like you want to intensify the sensation, we're just going to gently nudge the tailbone down toward the ground. Checking in with the chin, sliding the back of the head toward the top of the mat so the chin can come in. Softening to the jaw. Every inhale, pushing the thighs away. And every exhale, drawing the knees in close to the chest. Okay, one last breath here. And release. But not for long, because we're going to switch legs. Cross the left over the right. Stack the knees. Pull them in. Pull them in opposite directions. So it's kind of a deeper cross. Snuggle them in toward the chest, but making sure the hips are nice and square. Let's keep hold of the knees. Let's target the outer left hip now. Okay, you feel it down deep in the left hip. Make sure our chin's nice and tucked. Gently draw the sacrum flat on the ground. It's not going to get there because we have our knees curled into our chest, but just kind of get heavy through the bottom part of the sacrum. If it feels, if you feel like you can access this pose a little better by taking hold of the ankles, the outer blades of the feet, feel free, or stay with the knees. I tend, especially on this side, I don't know why, I tend to find the stretch better if I'm holding on to the knees. So soften through the feet, heavy through the sacrum. Breathing our belly into the thighs and releasing. Massaging our internal organs with every round of breath. Enjoying that squish into the thighs. And enjoying that drop of the navel in toward the spine with the exhale. Just being completely present in your body right here and now. All of its fire, all of its air, all of its water, contained in this physical expression of your being. Not something that's separate from your being, but something that's part of the whole spectrum of existence. And all of its strengths and all of its weaknesses, all of its pains and all of its pleasures. Just part of a tapestry of being a physical creature and able to participate in this vast game of creation. How wonderful, really. To get to ride the waves of volatility and change. To get to play around with these illusions of permanence and control and self and other dichotomies and all these various things that we get to participate in and play with, use. Last breath here. Sigh it out and unwind. Pedal out the feet. Point and flex the toes, make some circles with the ankles, shake out the legs. Okay, is our bolster handy? We need it. We've been doing a lot of flexion with our hips to work into our legs, and so now we're going to do a little bit of extension. So set up in bridge pose, basically. So our feet are under our knees and our heels are close to our bum. We're going to press in and slide our bolster or cushion or blanket underneath the hips so the hips are completely supported. And we're gonna tuck the tailbone. So we'll lift the tailbone up. Okay, so maybe there's a little clenching going on in the bum. Soften the bum. We're trying to get the pubic bone higher than the hip bone. Okay. If it feels comfortable, we're going to extend each leg. Okay. Might need to sway the feet a little bit to kind of release through here because we've been doing a lot of flexing through here. Just massage the hip flexors long. Kind of coaxing them to release. If you need to kind of reset your bolster, feel free. Let's tuck the shoulder blades under our chest. And let's, again, tuck the chin, press the top, this lump at the back of the head toward the top of the mat. So we still have space here in the neck. And focus on kind of ballooning our lower belly with our breath. Create a full moon waxing into a full moon and releasing into a waning moon. It's a new little massage through these hip flexors, giving them a chance to release. They spend so much of their time contracted when they're sitting, driving, bicycling, sometimes even sleeping. If you're a sleeper that curls on your side, like I do, then you're even flexing them then. So they get very little chance to extend. We're just really giving ourselves a space and yumminess here. Come into the rhythm of your breath. If you'd like, you can relax the hands now. And we've coaxed them opening into our tops of our thighs, front of the hips. Sinking into the roots of who you are allows you to accept the entire tree of who you are as well. Appreciating the layers of bark that grow and slough off. Appreciating each and every leaf, each little thought that arises. The swirls of emotion that stir us. When we're rooted, we can allow the winds and allow the waters to carry us a bit. But we do so from choice. We do so from real choice and not just from the whims of our monkey mind and the whims of our inner critic. We make our choices from a place of softness, a place of kindness, a place of truth. And so that when we do allow ourselves allow our little I wants, our little desires to drive. We're doing so from consciousness, from a conscious effort. Saying, oh, I am allowing my desire to do this. I'm giving my desires some free rein now, and oftentimes we have to. I mean, we should have times when we allow our desires to just go, indulge, right? Indulgence. But we are allowing it. We're not being dragged by it. There's the difference there. We are making choices for ourselves that we trust will serve us. Last minute in this pose. Big belly breath. Hold. Inside out. Walk the feet in. Press into the feet so we can remove the bolster, and very slowly, let's even come up on the toes. Tuck the tailbone. Lower the top of the pelvis first, then the bottom. Hard. Sway the knees from side to side. And let's come all the way in. Bring the knees in. Lift that tailbone off the ground. Let's make some circles around the sacrum. Massage that, the back of the hips. Massage that bone. We'll keep the right knee. We'll extend the left leg. Extend the left leg. We're going to roll onto our left hip for a bit of a twist. It's not going to be a yin twist. This is just a release twist. So we're going to roll up all the way onto our left hip, and our right shoulder is going to stay on the ground. And maybe we play with that leg. We can keep it bent. We can hold it up with the left hand. We can just let it hang there. We can weight it down if we like. Yeah, we can play around with straightening it. We can bend and straighten it. Yeah, because we're in release mode right now. And because it's a twist, I'm going to encourage you to breathe into this right sit bone so that the inhales actually push the right sit bone toward your left toes. And let's come back to center. Let's draw the left knee in. Hold them for a moment. Transfer the hand, and then we'll extend to the right leg. We'll draw the left knee across so we come onto our right side. We're on the outer right hip. But let's make sure we keep the left shoulder down by the ground. If it feels good for the neck, we're actually going to look to the left. And again, this leg can be still. We can hold it up with our hand. We can weight it down with our hand. We can play around with bending and straightening. For the next inhale, let's push the left sit bone down toward the right heel. All right, let's bring it back in. The other leg back in. We are going to get ready for our Shavasana. We're going to just take a five-minute Shavasana. I know it's going past 2:30, but we had a few technical difficulties. Thank you for your patience with that. I hope people managed to find their way to the current stream. I will try to edit all these together at a later date. So really set up for your Shavasana. If you have any props that you would like to use for this, I think I'm going to take my blanket and I'm going to turn off my bright lights. Got a little warmth going on in here. We'll get ourselves cozy, so we can really settle in and integrate the last few moments, or the last few hours, or few minutes, depending on how long you're here. So let the feet be separated. Let the toes play away at the ankles. Snuggle the shoulder blades under the heart. Let the palms be away from the body, palms face up. Let's lift the head, tuck the chin. Release the neck muscles. Take a few clearing breaths. Fill up, fill up, fill up, fill up, fill up. Hold the breath. Let it all go. And then let's let the breath go as well. Soften your body into the earth. Soften your mind into itself. So we're not going to really focus on anything. We're just going to let the last few hours settle and integrate. If you find the mind wandering so that it's hard to settle, then just gently rest your attention on the inhales and exhales, not trying to change them at all, not trying to deepen them. Just gently watching, observing. Stay here as long as you like. Those who want to arise for this last minute in Shavasana, really take in your surroundings. So we've settled into who we are. So now let's locate ourselves in this place and time. So whatever sounds you might be hearing besides my voice, let them wash over you. Whatever sensations, the heaviness of gravity, the air on your skin, the clothes on your body. And as you breathe, the quality of the air entering through your nose. Does it have a smell? Being completely present to the experience of now. And let's deepen our breath. Starting to feel the movement expanding with every exhale and the release with every exhale, exaggerating that tide. Start to sway the head and move the fingers, move the toes. Taking a nice stretch if you like, filling up with an inhale, letting it all go. Walk the knees in. Curling onto one side just to gather ourselves. Connecting with a sense of appreciation that we have the opportunity to be here in the now, to breathe this very breath that we're breathing right now. Might seem such a mundane and simple little mechanism, but in the vast scale of things, it's pretty unique. It's a pretty amazing blessing, this crazy event called life. Let's go ahead and engage the core and bring ourselves up to sitting. We're going to sit. Here we are at the held breath of the year, the longest night, shortest day. For those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, we're tilted furthest away from the sun right now. And that, with the increased darkness, the senses going into the places that we usually think of as being dark, our interiors that we don't tend to explore. But that darkness is not something to be afraid of, and it's not something that's negative, like opposing the light. It's actually part of the same spectrum that we inhabit. Let's go ahead and bring our hands to our heart center and settle just going to settle the palms on the heart center here. And cradling our breath, cradling our heart. Finding a sense of gratitude for being here, being now. Who you are, exactly who you are right now. And we'll seal the practice with the sound of Om and our 3 Shantis. So let's go ahead and take a nice big inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale it all. Squeeze it out. Inhale for Om. Inhale for Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. The rise of your chest under your hand. And tuck the chin on the exhale. Honor and gratitude for the light and shadows that inhabit us all. Namaste. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. For those who've managed to follow the thread of this live stream, congratulations. Thank you. I will figure out how to use my AirPods for longer journeys. And I hope to see you again. And I hope you have a beautiful solstice and a wonderful winter. Namaste. See you later, everybody. Yes, I do want to end. There we go.